here's the story of a school that's going out of its way to put an end to prejudice in the playground.
The Mount Primary in Nottinghamshire does school trips like no other.
Right, come on then, kids, into the middle.
With a third of pupils at the school hailing from the travelling community, head teacher Claire Kent regularly organises field trips to Tony Lane Traveller Site.
There are still small pockets of the community that are still quite prejudiced about our school because we have such a large amount of travellers.
Does it work both ways? I mean, do you get people from the travelling community being a bit sceptical about their children mixing outside of the community?
Certainly, as the children get older, it can be an issue that the travelling community are a very close-knit private community, and as they grow older, they do like to stay within their own community.
Can you take your shoes off?
I took mine off.
Today, 9-year-old Grace is showing her classmates around her trailer.
So this is where our bed is, and that's where my mum sleeps over there.
Oh my God, you're so lucky.
And Grace's mum, Lisa Marie, is on hand to answer any questions from the kids.
Where do you do your washing?
We've got a utility block outside.
If you're a traveller, aren't you meant to travel?
It is in your culture to obviously move around, but we're pretty permanent. We have moved around when I was younger.
It's quite clear the kids are really engaged, actually. They've got so many questions for Lisa Marie about her culture, and Grace is taking so much pride in showing everybody where she lives. And whilst the school is helping the kids to integrate with each other, it's also focusing its efforts on traveller parents, whose approach to education can sometimes differ from the schools. So Claire regularly invites parents into the classroom.
Very sensibly, don't forget to take your adult with you.
Do you think it's important to be across Joseph's education?
Yeah, because I do want him to learn, and he does struggle a little bit, so I do like to come in and help him.
Do you feel like you learn when you're in here as well?
It just like jog your memory of it, yeah.
Gypsy, Roma and travellers are the lowest performing children across the UK. But here, it's a different story.
The travelling children are performing in line with their peers, and generally, compared to travelling children across the country, perform particularly well at our school.
Attendance levels are also higher than the national average for the travelling community.
Their whole group of attendance improved by 5% last year, so they are currently at 90%.
Claire's approach is clearly having an impact on primary education. However, when I asked parents about secondary school, their attitude was very different. Would you want Lydia to go on to secondary school?
No. Usually we're travelling, so they can't be in school.
So if you were settled there for a long period of time, would that change your thinking?
No.
Well, us travellers, we don't go to secondary school. We stay home and help our mum clean up, cook and all that.
And you don't want to go to secondary school?
No.
If Miami would have said, I want to go to secondary school, would you have supported that?
Probably not, no.
Why is that?
Because she isn't going to be going out getting a job working in secondary education. So it's just culture, and everyone's got different cultures, and that's our culture.
Having heard those reactions from the parents, I'm keen to know how Claire feels.
It is a big part of their culture that they don't go on to secondary, and I respect that, but equally I would support any family that wants to go to secondary. I mean, it's not that they don't educate after primary school, they do have tutors. Many of them are learning trades as well with their family, so they've got family businesses, so some of them will inherit those family businesses. It's not always academic that leads to success.
For those children that stick with education, some say they encounter problems such as discrimination. English Romany Gypsy Natalie took her 15-year-old daughter Anastasia out of school last year after she says the bullying became too much.
You'd hear things like Jippo, and I was walking down a hallway getting pushed into lockers or getting my hair pulled.
Anastasia was physically attacked in her latest school by a group of boys. She came home absolutely distraught and black and blue, and that was the final straw for me.
Do you miss school?
I miss the positive aspects of school. I miss, the friends while it lasted, because I've got some that I've kept from school. I miss the fun part of school that everyone gets out of it, and I wish I had that.
Moving forward, it's hoped that schools like the Mount can help break down the barriers.
I think there might be a bed under there. I've learnt about what it's like to live in a trailer.
Would you like to come and play down here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
Because it's more exciting. Yeah, definitely. My house is boring.
I'm proud who I am, and very proud how my family lives.
Thanks so much, Richie, and great to see a school doing what it can to battle prejudice.
Yeah, well, that is